G'day and welcome to another episode. My name is Daethstro, the Aussie Geek, and this is part 10 of A Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 2, and this is the final part. It's time to confront ourselves. Now, I still haven't done all the achievements, so that'll be done another time, I think. But I have decided, yes, enough standing around. Let's end the game, I think. Love the music. Still go away. But you get stuck on everything. Unless you put a gate up, I don't care. So we haven't seen this part of Nosgoth since we actually got into this timeline. So, something new, I guess. More of these spirits. I don't know if anyone's actually come up with some lore explanation for them. Because they're a lot more prevalent in the first era. But that could be just because of Raziel's actions. I have to actually look it up. See if I can get it before I die. Two. Oh, kill fire demons within a minute. I'd heard that there was an issue with that. Apparently I did it right. Now, as regard to those fire demons, something I didn't bring in last time, and I've only just remembered now that I'm actually here. The fire demon look is very reminiscent, and spoilers if you haven't played Blood Omen 1, Mortanius changes into a demon entity. He's very reminiscent of the fire demons, or I should say the fire demons are very reminiscent of what Mortanius turns into. Alright, I need to get some life without having to deal with phasing. Can't be. I do prefer my sword. If one of them had the sword, I'd be right. Yeah, gotcha. Oh, speaking of swords, actually, can this work? Actually, let's see if this works. Oh, I still haven't checked to see what's going on with my reticle yet. Maybe it's the era that's doing it. I don't know. Either way, it's a bit of a pain in the butt. Are you gonna catch on fire, or am I just gonna keep shooting you backwards? I think you're just gonna keep flying backwards. Just die easily so I can get your soul. Thank you. But it would have been cooler if I could actually use the Soul Reaver to set him on fire. No. Let's try and get this. Now, considering they're using sorcery, I would say that maybe they're a resemblance of Azimuth, but Azimuth isn't born yet, so... Oh, we're halfway to getting our health back. I would get that, but I don't know if it would actually warrant it. I assume it's just a quick travel point to get up to there, but why would you go back? There we go. Should be right that you get one more and we should be right. Also, I could be wrong, but I swear that's the sound effect from Soul Reaver 1's water as well. Alright, I think we're about right now. Why would that be a Dark Reaver Forge here? I think that's the Fire Forge over there. But we're just going to run straight... Oh, we're probably going to need the Light Reaver at some point. I have my health as much as I'd like, so I'm getting out of here. Now, there is an achievement, which is part of the reason why I saved in more than a few spots. Where there's an achievement for coming here before speaking to Janos. So that's one of the reasons I saved where I did. I've also got to work out the deal with the sorcerers. So we have our frozen lake now. That's a Fire Reaver. Uh-huh. Sure. I'll just try to get one more soul. Bugger this. Oh, we have to melt it first, do we? Maybe. Yes. Okay, that I admit I forgot. But we still need that Light Reaver to actually get in. So I found this area last time and forgot about it, ironically. So this is why I was here. Ah, dang it. Get that. And hopefully... Alright, I'm just going to quickly check this while I'm thinking of it. Compass off, interactions off, control options, keyboard, sensitivity. No, that's just telling me other things. So I might just have a glitch, honestly. Because it's fine when you get to a certain point, but then it sort of fades off, but I don't remember it. Ah, got it. Alright, I'm gonna go and get my Fire Reaver back, because I like my Fire Reaver. No, it shouldn't disappear. Unlike, actually, we'll save just in case. Because heaven knows if something's gonna happen. Actually, I might even be able to use that to get my health back. Should I? No, because considering what's coming up, I won't bother. I do love that this Fire Reaver doesn't dissipate. One. Oh, maybe this is the area where they were talking about the three, Ooh, that was close. I don't know if she got me. Did she? Oh, there we go. Kill 3 sources in a row without being hurt. So that's alright. Wasn't planning on getting in there, but it kind of worked. Okay. Maybe the time is depending on where you walk. Alright, let's see if I can get to the big moment without... Actually, you know what? I'm just going to run. There's nothing these guys can do to me that really has any effect. Crap.
Seize him.
One, 2, 3. Oh, I gotta be right on the edge. Maybe I should grab that sword. Nah. There is a door at the end you can't go in. This is the big moment we need.
And inexplicably, I discovered the Reaver suspiciously laid across my path. Again, I sensed nothing of that temporal distortion, the peculiar sense of displacement I had felt when I encountered the Reaver in William's chapel. Cornered here with the blade, I suffered the same nameless dread that I had experienced when Janos first presented the Reaver to me. I felt at once repelled by the blade, and yet overwhelmingly compelled to seize it.
So, Raziel, here we are finally. You have no choice but to confront me now, and I am not so foolish as I've let you believe. We have business to conclude.
You knew I would lead the Sarafan to Janos, you vile bastard. You've been orchestrating my every move. My destiny is an amusement to you.
It was fun while it lasted. I think not, Raziel. Malik, do not let this creature leave. He poses a danger to the circle. Poor, deluded Raziel. Did you somehow imagine you had the guile to change history on me? I'm the time streamer. I knew your every intention before you did, you imbecile.
Lord Mobius, there is trouble within. The circle is under
Hold
attack.
fast, Malik. This one is the real danger to us.
What are you trying to concoct here, Mobius?
You toxic creature. Did you imagine I'd simply allow you to run loose? Corrupting everything you encounter.
I admit that I've underestimated you to this point, Mobius. But it's a mistake I won't repeat.
Wrong again, Razia. Now, Malik, bolt the door.
Using his staff to disable my Wraithblade, Mobius effectively disarmed me, leaving me with only one choice of weapon. And yet I confess, it was not the lack of options, but blind rage that made me take up the Reaver. In my fury, it felt as though my hand had acted of its own will. And now, that same hand clutched the hilt with unyielding strength, and I felt a constrained tingling, a remote but palpable sense of longing, as the disabled Wraithblade tried vainly to embrace its physical twin.
Voila, full health. Now, for those of you who want to go back to the Soul Reaver, and you can hear it, but you can't see it,
Now that
you
I had
cannot
taken
put it
up, the
down.
Reaver and I were inescapably joined. The harder I tried to release the blade, the more tightly my hand gripped the hilt, as if possessed of its own will.
Yes, you cannot put the sword down. The sword is now your final weapon. Now, spoiler alert for Blood Omen, but story context is kind of important. So, you just saw Malik with Mobius. Now, in Blood Omen 1, the intro sequence shows that Vorador, right now, as he's literally just found out that Janos is killed. He's come here, he's just killed 6 of the Guardians of the Circle of 9. So, what Mobius mentioned at the beginning of the game. Blood Omen 2 kind of shows it. Now, in Blood Omen, we don't know why Malik doesn't arrive until they're dead. We have now seen why Malik arrived late. He was postponed by Mobius. Now, further context, sorry, this is an information dump, but Mobius will be eventually punished by Mortanius, who we have not seen in either of these games yet, who is the Guardian of Death, by stripping his soul from Malik's body and forging it to his armor. So he basically becomes a wraith of his own right, set in his armor. The events of Blood Omen 1 happens and Malik bites the dust along with everybody else. But playing Blood Omen first, you didn't know why Malik wasn't there to stop Vorador. This is why Mobius stopped him. Now, the question is, why did Malik not tell Mortanius that it was Mobius who told him not to go? We don't know. Maybe it's his loyalty to Mobius. Anybody's guess. So yeah, we have a huge story explanation as to why Malik didn't save 6 of the 6 of the Circle of 9 because Mobius stopped him. And eventually Malik would say that wouldn't let any other ones die afterwards, and then Blood Omen takes place. But yeah, Vorador has just shown up, he's killed them, and he's got his revenge. So yeah. Now, to continue with our own task.
Come to take your revenge, demon.
Back to hell with you!
I recognize these two as my former brethren, in life as Sarafan, and in unlife as Kain's vampire sons. Melchiah and Zephon, the weakest of Kain's brood. These bastards had no idea what future lay in store for them, how they would become the very thing they so despised. The Reaver hummed with ravenous anticipation. Janos had called it a vampiric blade, endowed with the power to drain its victims of their lifeblood. I was eager to see what the Reaver would do to these two.
Yeah, no matter how much damage I take, I cannot die. I am basically invincible now. And my other strategy was working better. Who's gonna die first? Is it Melchiah or Zephon? Well, you guys didn't take this many hits last time. That's Zephon. And that's Melchiah.
As Melchiah and Zephon fell before my blade, I felt the Reaver's bloodthirst as keenly as I ever had when I was still a vampire. I could sense the boundary between us dissolving. The Reaver was consumed with my rage, and I was intoxicated by its bloodlust. The blade had a vitalizing effect on me. My physical energy no longer decayed over time, and the wounds inflicted by my foes healed almost instantly. The Reaver had made me invincible.
So yes, if it hasn't dawned on you yet, we are the reason why your brothers end up in the Sarafan sarcophaguses. We killed them, or yeah, basically we killed them. Now this Reaver, it doesn't have the Wraith in it, so in the community we call this the Blood Reaver. So yes, nothing like things coming full circle.
Have you come to reclaim the monster's black heart?
You'll have to get through us first.
My former brethren, Duma and Rahab, confronted me next. This all seemed so elegantly choreographed. Exhilarated by the Reaver, I was drunk with revelations. I could finally appreciate the delicious irony of Kain's blasphemous private joke, and I reveled as I colluded with him across the centuries. For it was I who put these bastards in their tomb, thus providing the corpses for Kain to raise as his vampire sons a millennium from now.
Well, it's going pretty well there with Duma. Now, I can't say the same for the other ones, but it is kind of cool that Simon Templeman voiced Duma like he did in Soul Reaver 1. So I don't think the others did. But honestly, Simon Tillman's the easiest one to pick out, so I don't think Melchiah's was, because Melchiah's was Michael Bell and Zephon's was Tony J. That's Duma out of the way. And I can't actually remember who voiced Rahab. Also, while I'm fighting him, I made a comment, but I didn't really go into the details. During when Janos gets his heart ripped out, Zephon's missing. And it's purely down to a technical limitation that they couldn't have all 5 there. So there's a theory that Rahab was doing something else at the time while everybody else was killing Janos.
Get back to the pit you crawled from, demon.
And here at last was my brother Tyrell, who along with Duma would bear me into the abyss without questioning Kain's command. So dutiful and righteous, even as a vampire. I guess some habits die hard. The vampire Tyrell had eluded my vengeance. The Sarafan Tyrell would not.
Yes, we never did find Tyrell in Soul Reaver. He was one of the unfortunate missing, which I did do a thing on the missing content of Tyrell's battle. Also, I think there was some new stuff added to that too, but I'm not going to do a video on it. That's long past now. God, Tyrell, you're pretty damn easy. Ouch. Ouch. Some might view this as a pretty anticlimactic final boss battles, but I think it's worth it, honestly. Also, if I come over here, you'll notice there's no paintings because Janos has just died, and there shouldn't be. Nope, there is no coffin yet because William the Just has not died yet either. So that's a nice bit of continuity. You'll also notice it once we reach Raziel because we fight him in the what do you call it? The memorial room, and of course they haven't died yet, so there's no memorials.
So, vampire, here we are. You've destroyed my brethren, and now you've come for me. You'll find I'm not such easy prey. I don't want to kill you, but I will if I must. Return the heart to me, and we can end this now. So, you've come to avenge that filthy parasite and reclaim his foul heart. You're a righteous fiend, aren't you? Apparently I am. No, vampire. This is where it ends. But you won't be leaving this room. Now, let's finish this. I'll make it mercifully quick. As you did for Janos? No, that beast had eluded us for far too long. It would have been a shame to end him too quickly. It's ironic, really. The great Janos Ordrin turned out to be no challenge at all. Thanks to you. Did you hear his cowardly screams when I tore that black heart out of his carcass?
Stop blocking, Raziel. Try doing some blocking. I think that kind of worked. That's it. Let's do it so no one can actually see the fight. Alright, I'm gonna go with the stabby technique. That worked really well with the other ones. Be helpful if I could actually see. I'd lock on you, but I know I wouldn't be able to do me stabby. Oh, it was worth a try doing a different attack. I'll be getting close. That got him.
I renounce you. And so it ends. My history comes full circle. Sensing its twin,
No
the
fire
Reaver
Reaver.
blade uncoiled itself from me, and instead wound lovingly around its former self. I felt its grip loosen, and as the blade left me, its absence chilled me more than its presence ever had. A foreboding sense of emptiness and loss stole over me, and a terrible revelation gathered like a storm at the edge of my awareness. With all other foes exhausted, the conjoined blades turned themselves on me, and I realized, finally, why I had sensed nothing when Janos offered me the blade. The Reaver was never forged to be a soul-stealing weapon. The ravenous, soul-devouring entity trapped in the blade was, and always had been, me. This is why the blade was destroyed when Kain tried to strike me down. The Reaver could not devour its own soul. The paradox shattered the blade. So, this was my terrible destiny. To play out this purgatorial cycle for all eternity. I could not bear it. Despair overwhelmed me. You. Are you enjoying this, Kain? Don't fight it, Raziel. Give into it. Was this your destiny for me all along? Trust me. I felt myself weakening, unable to hold on any longer. The Reaver was too strong. The compulsion to simply let go, too great. And then, a growing sense of vertigo and the familiar displacement. The paradoxical moment when my twinned soul hovered both outside and inside the Reaver blade. This was the instant, the glimmer of temporal distortion Kain had been counting on all along. This was the edge of the coin, the minute flicker of probability upon which Kain had gambled everything.
Now you are free to reclaim your true destiny, Raziel.
Behind Kain's eyes, I could see new memories blooming and dying as history labored to reshuffle itself around this monumental obstruction. And I could see by the dawning horror on his face that perhaps we had strained history too far this time. That by trying to alter my fate, he may have introduced a fatal paradox.
My God. The Hilden. We walked right into their trap. Raziel, Janos must stay dead.
But Kain's warning was lost as I slipped into the spirit realm, too weak to maintain my physical form. And there, waiting for me as always, was the Reaver, the Wraithblade, my own soul, twinned and bound eternally to me. And I realized that I could never escape my terrible destiny. I had merely postponed it. History abhors a paradox.
And there we go. That is the end for Soul Reaver. Or Soul Reaver 2 anyway. Oh, there we go. Just skip. Alright, so a bit more information dumping and context. So, as we now know, the soul in the Reaver was Raziel. Now, I know story-wise it has to happen, otherwise it wouldn't happen. But it always sort of semi-annoyed me that the Reaver turned on Raziel at the end. Yes, he says there's nothing else for it to feed on, but I don't think that is an adequate enough reason as to why it turned on him. I don't know. It feels like we had to do it, fine, but I would have liked a little bit more of an explanation. That's always been my only problem with Soul Reaver 2. Is yes, Raziel has to go into the Reaver. We know it's going to happen, but the fact that it turned on him in the end, sort of. The only thing I can think of is that during the battle with your brothers and yourself, it got so frustrated and ravenous in that moment that not only did Raziel gain benefits from the Blood Reaver, but maybe the thirst that he felt also mixed with the Reaver, and it sort of went into an overdrive, and it was basically starved. At that point, it's like, I need to eat. Excuse me. I have to eat. And Raziel was the only one. That's the only explanation I can give it, is from the point where he picks up the Reaver to the end, that it became so famished and just became so overwhelmed by his bloodlust from the sword that it was like, I need to eat now. You're the only one there. And it tried, of course, as we saw, Kain pulled it out. Now, the Hilden weren't named primarily in this game at the end, till the end. So the other beings that the vampires fought, they were the Hilden. And there's a lot more that goes into that in Defiance and Blood Omen 2, You're supposed to play Blood Omen 2 first, which makes a lot of mysteries. I think you should play Defiance first to make it feel a bit more canonical. Though I will say Blood Omen 2 is the result of this time change. So Blood Omen 2 would not have happened if Kain didn't pull the Reaver out of Raziel like he did. So I do have Blood Omen 2 and I do have Defiance in my my collections. I'm not going to do them yet. Can't honestly say there's enough of you interested for me to justify doing it. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments and I might do it. But otherwise I might just wait and see if they do a remake and see how that goes. So that's all I can say. That's Soul Reaver 1 and 2 done, the remakes, remasters, whatever they've called. And I've had a hell of a time. I've loved these games. So I'm really hoping we get a Defiance remake. Heck, I'd be even happier if we finally got a sequel. We've waited, what is it, like 20 years now? 15, 20 years. So there we go. But if you like this year, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like this year, give me a thumbs down. I promise you will not hurt my feelings. Subscribe, ring that bell, leave me a comment. And apart from that, thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.